Welcome to You Can Sip With Us. I'm Colleen.
I'm Ashley.
Are you sipping on anything?
I am. I made a Shakeology. So I am starting today. I talked about this on Patreon, but there's a new program out with Beachbody called something about gut protocol. 4 weeks I don't know. It's I don't know what the name is.
I'm doing something, but no one knows what it's called.
But no one knows. Probably everyone knows what it's
Mystery.
called, but I just haven't paid that much attention, I guess, because there's the like nutrition part of it, but then there's a workout part that goes with it, and they call them different things. So the workout is 4 weeks for everybody, but I don't know. It might just be the gut protocol, or maybe it's 4-week gut protocol. Anyway, I'm starting that today because John's best friend was in town last weekend. Then it was Kara's birthday this weekend, and we raged. And I also have some sort of illness from the devil, and so I'm just like, why not just try to feel better today? So I made a little Shakeology because it's got nutrition.
Yeah, good. I have a decaf coffee, which I'm not, but look how pretty my cup is and everything. And there's some little layers.
What's on the bottom? Or is that just the way it looks?
I'm going to talk about it during my faves. That's my teaser.
That's a little teaser.
But right before we hit the record button, just moments before, I told Ash, I was like, hey, because, of course I watch Ash's stories on Insta. And I saw your stories the whole weekend, but it is Sunday today, you guys. So you're hearing this on Tuesday. And I saw your stories today.
Yeah.
And at one point I texted you this weekend and I was like, I'm so sorry you're sick. It's so tough to be sick and parent. But then with John being gone, I wrote something like, I'm feeling for you right now. And then I saw your stories this morning and I almost texted you like, should we try and find any other time, because it just seems miserable.
Well, I'll tell you what's going on. So last weekend I got a sore throat, and it was a really bad sore throat, but it is where you would normally have your, in the back of your throat, right? Not down deep where your esophagus is, just where you would get a sore throat if you were getting a cold.
Yeah.
But then I had no other symptoms. And then, I felt like the allergies are really bad here right now. So my allergies have been sort of acting up. And then starting about 4 nights ago or something, I'm just coughing so hard during the night, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And you might hear it on this, it's not that bad during the day. Yeah. For some reason it is
it's a vampire cough. Yeah. Comes out when the sun sets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nocturnal cough. Yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
So, so that's been happening, and I've been so excited to put the kids to bed. I sometimes when John's gone, I just put the kids to bed and then I go get in bed early and read a book.
Yeah.
But yeah, so John left on Thursday morning, and then we had so Kara's birthday we went over there it was St. Patrick's Day. We went over there on Thursday, and that was good. Then, it's just a lot because then I go to their house and then and they help with the kids, but my kids are my responsibility,
No one's feeling it like you are.
Right.
I mean, of
course.
And
if they're being little dicks, it's I got to make sure that
You're
they're,
chasing them down.
mostly Mac, playing with the pool balls and stuff like that. It's no one else's responsibility, even though they help and they jump in and whatever. And I was like, man, it is a lot more work when it's just one. So I do that, come back, don't sleep that night because I'm coughing. We're up. We have our nanny comes the next day for a little bit, but she's terrible. We're firing her. The new one that we thought was going to work is not going to work. And we went out for lunch with Kara and then had people over at the house, which was fine because I was distracted and it was very fun. And we were drinking that day. But then everybody left by 10 or something. Kids were down. I tried to go to bed, no sleep. And I mean, when I say no sleep, it's totaling around 5 hours, but broken up between, over
it's feeling like nothing.
It's not
you're up
restful
throughout
sleep.
the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have my Aura ring so I can see that it's your total time is 5:20, but it's not from midnight to 5. It's I looked and it's about 1.5 hours is what I max out at. It's like a newborn schedule kind of.
Which just
I'm in so much pain. So then this started 2 nights ago. This insane, I've never had this before, but you know when you, like, if you swallow a pill, but it gets stuck in your throat and it's like uncomfortable, but it was painful in that it was almost like it was like a rock or something. It was so, if John would have been home, I would have taken myself to the emergency room because it hurt so bad.
Weird.
But I couldn't leave the kids. So I just took ibuprofen and then it was better the next day. I went to the doctor yesterday. She's like, I don't know. And she can't prescribe me codeine where I went, so she prescribed
it's
whatever
not like
she could.
strep or anything. She ran all the tests of
and it's not. It's like it's like where my Adam's apple would be.
Oh.
So it's not soreness like my throat is sore. It is like low, and I can feel it. Not today, but I could feel it yesterday. It was like tender. So then went over to my aunt and uncle's again last night. It was super mellow, but we just had dinner over there. Came home, put the kids to bed at 8 or 8:30. I was in bed by 9. Once again, couldn't sleep. And I had all the medicine that she prescribed me again. So then today I got up, and you guys can hear it in my voice. Probably. Like, I feel like I sound hoarse. And today I just have, this is where I realize how important sleep is. There's something that goes on during the newborn stage where your body's like, you're still not a super efficient human when you're in the newborn stage, but like your body has a more fight or like it's fighting better. I don't know how it works, but you can like function a little more in the newborn stage. Right now, I have snapped at my kids 20 times today. I called, so then I texted John last night in the middle of the night because he's in Vegas. And I said, hey, like, hope you're having fun, but I need you to come back as soon as possible. Don't dilly-dally in the morning. Like, I need help.
And was he supposed to come home today, or I thought he was going
he's supposed to come home today.
Okay.
I thought initially he was going to come home tomorrow, Monday, but he said today. So, but then he didn't text back, called him this morning, didn't answer. I texted and I said, hey, I need you to contact me or whatever. And I am like just escalating, and he didn't respond or call back. And so then I called him again and he's like, hello. It was 10:40. And I'm like, you need to get on the road right now. Like, I need relief and I can't handle this. Like, I'm not sleeping. I'm caught. And this is how I'm talking to him, like super aggressive. And he's like, it takes 5 hours to get there, right? And I'm like, yeah, but it's going to take 5 hours either way. So it's either going to be 7 hours from now if you dick around for 2 hours, or it's going to be 5 hours from now if you can get your ass in the car and get home. And I didn't say that, but that's how I felt. And he was like, okay, I'll get out of here as soon as I can. And I'm just over it. And then like I told Coll right before this happened, before we come on to record, I took him to Costco and was unloading the groceries, and Mac found nail polish and had it open, and it was all over the counter and all over his hands. So I was like cleaning that up, and I just want to like push pause on life and just go sleep. But then it's like, I don't even know if I'll be able to sleep, And I don't want to take anything too strong either until John gets home, because I don't want to be like out of it if the kids need me in the night or something,
Did he say why he didn't respond until 10?
Oh, drunk, probably. I mean, I wrote him at like 11:30.
He's not great on his phone either.
No, he's terrible on his phone. What time was it?
Like, I say that and not like we're like, this is some people are like, they have their Apple Watch, they got like the things. He's like in the moment, phones nowhere to be found. Like that's
we fought about this a lot in the beginning of our relationship. Because it's very annoying to me. But now it's like, this is what happens. This is like, whether there's drinks on board or not, he's just not on his phone. And that's true when I'm with him. He's like not really paying attention to his phone. So I'm not surprised that he didn't respond, but it doesn't help me with my annoyance today. So and he's going to get here. And I felt better after I got to Costco. Like, I kind of calmed down a little bit, but then the nail polish thing happened and now I'm escalated again. So it's quite and I almost called to be like, hey, how's your Monday look? But I feel like you usually have a lot of calls.
And I didn't want to put the hardest day, but also like,
and I didn't want to put Chad in a jam either. The editors, I'm like, let's just knock it out. And they're just going to get a dickhead Ashley today. And that's the way it is. This is what I've got for you.
Yeah. But maybe this will help you relax. Not relax. But
I have thought there's been times I've shown up to record, and I think same for you, where we have been like in a funk, and then you come out after you're recording. It's like, oh, okay, I actually feel better. This was therapy.
So
we'll see what happens.
Right
now I am fiery, but not in like a funny way.
The hard part when you're really tired trying to parent too is like I remember this one parenting article I read that was like, hey, you got to remember that they're like toddlers.
Right.
Like, you're the adult.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're really going to let a toddler get to you like that? You know?
Yeah.
But when you're not sleeping.
Right. That's the thing.
Or like, you know, I've gotten extreme pregnancy fatigue type, you know, and I talked about this, I think over on Patreon, where I got whacked in the head by a train and I just like chucked the train across the room. But I'm like, oh, we can stoop, like not stoop down to their level, but we can become, we're irrational as well.
Yes.
And so that's when it's real dicey because there's like, yeah.
Well, and I feel like you have to exercise patience a lot as a parent.
Yes.
And when you're tired, it's very hard to
difficult.
channel like good patience. So today I was telling Rev we're going to Costco and she's on her iPad and I'm like, okay, Rev, we're going to Costco in 5 minutes. And she's like, no. And I was like, she goes, no. And I was like, if you don't turn the iPad off right now, you're never going to see it again for the rest of your life. Like that is where I went. I was just, and she was like, she looked at me like I was a psycho, and rightfully so. And then she still didn't turn it off. And she was like, no. So then, of course, that went over well, right? I'm like, you did that to me. And I'll have to apologize to her later, but like, that is just where I'm at. I'm not being a perfect parent, perfect wife, perfect human. I need to sleep is what I would like.
Is John on the road?
I haven't even wanted to message him to know. But I called. It's been almost 3 hours now. And if he's not on the fucking road, he will come home to change locks on the house. Yeah. I was about to say empty house, but I'm like, no, he doesn't get even a shelter tonight. If he is not on the road, locks are changed. We will change our last name. We are no longer his family if he's not on the road. So I'm just hoping. But I don't want to know that it took him like an hour and a half to get on the road, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm just letting it ride for a moment. I'm going to try after this to sneak in like a 30-minute nap and see if maybe that'll help recharge the bats a little. How was your weekend?
Good. I was just about to transition into an ad.
Yeah.
You know, but
do we need to like update? But I mean, I feel like this has been 12 minutes about me. So
this is the most entertaining part of. You guys can stop listening to the episode now. No, I'm kidding. We have lots of things, but
we got good stuff. Yeah. All right. We're gonna do some flash faves. We said this last week, and then I was
gonna say I will update. I'm not trying to be evasive about my weekend, but there's nothing that extraordinary.
Okay.
But I was going to tell you when you were saying like sometimes it's kind of nice when John is gone for the night. Chris was gone last night with a friend. They went up to the Elene, which is a casino a stone's throw away from Portland, and he just went in the evening. So it was like Ben and I for a couple hours last night. And Ben was like, you know how sometimes when it's two parents, there's a certain vibe. And then sometimes when it's one parent, there's these magic moments where it was almost like Ben knew it's like, okay, it's me and mom and I'm just going to be a perfect angel.
Yeah.
Like he just was like, I was like, hey, should we brush your teeth? Okay. And that's never the answer.
Right.
Okay is not part of a toddler's lingo. No is the default.
Right.
So, but then it was like, oh, I took a bath and I read a book. I'm reading the friend zone.
Okay.
I haven't read the whole thing. I'm into it. I'm newly into it.
Okay.
And and I'm going to talk about this on my faves. It's one of my favorite things that I ate. But I've been having I'm third trimester. Things are starting to intensify. So the bones, but I took an Epsom salt bath, which is like, I think I've talked about Epsom salts here. It's not like it's that extraordinary. But if you don't have,
I don't think you have. You should actually talk about them.
On Amazon, you can get like a bulk size Epsom salt bag.
You just get plain Jane? Like, is there a brand you like? A scent you okay, just straight up. Okay.
Pure, as long as it's pure Epsom salt, I get a bulk buy.
Okay.
I keep it right by my bathtub. And I'm always putting in like half a cup to a cup of Epsom salt in my bath.
Yeah.
And it is that stuff, if you have, it's great for running. It's great for like just muscle.
I need to do that when I get back from my runs.
Yes. And it really helps my aches and, sores.
How often do you take baths?
Not sores, but like, I take a bath like a couple times a week.
Okay.
2 to 3 times a week.
Do you put bubbles in them?
mostly 2 sometimes, but I don't love it because then I feel like I have to take a quick shower. And regardless, I
Yeah.
usually take like a 30-second
Or a
shower after
rinser.
to like
Yeah.
get the bubbles off and feel clean.
Yeah.
Because the bath, I don't feel clean. I just feel relaxed. And the Epsom salt soak, it's like muscle bone. It feels like a treatment in and of itself. Or I'll do like a face mask type thing because I don't use my face masks like very often unless I have that time in the bath.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And I've been watching Outlander still, which
Oh.
it's like, it's very romantic. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
But Chris doesn't really love it.
Okay.
Like, and so Chris isn't really watching it, but I was like, oh, I'll binge Outlander.
Like romantic in like girly, kind of like lovey-dovey, or like sexual?
Sexual.
Oh.
But it's like a great, great storyline, great acting, great all the things. And then some of this, it's very steamy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is kind of, whoa. But Chris doesn't really love it. It's very soap opera-y.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm solo and I'll never have time to watch just shows by myself. So it's not that I want, like, it was just, anyway, it's once in a while I felt you on that of like, yeah, it's kind of nice when you just, what am I going to do tonight on a Saturday in my house by myself?
You could do anything you want is what you did.
And it was great.
I also forgot one thing that I wanted to share. This is part of, I guess, our Faves. I'm really going to challenge you. These are randomly popping into my head, and I'm not sure why, but they just are. So remember the memory that I had of it was before your birthday, and we got drunk, and you were like, you got a party, or you got a pack. You're like, okay, here's my shirt and shorts. I'm packed. Yeah. Okay, so I have another memory.
Okay. That
came up. So there was one year, I think it was my grandma's 70th birthday, and Coll knows my whole family as I know hers. And it was like invited to Elaine's rock and roll birthday. And so I'm like, hey, Coll, do you want to come? Yeah. And I'm like, it's rock and roll themed. So she's like, okay, yeah, I'm in. So we freaking dressed up. We were like, sort of like metallic black sparkle situation.
There were it was headbands like on.
Yes, we had headbands on. Major shadow, like smoky eyes, but like silver, very whatever. And then I was like, John, you got to dress up too. So he just went as like a group. No, what did he go? We were groupies.
Yeah.
And he like brought a guitar cord, an amp cord, because he was like part of the backstage crew, I think. I mean, he phoned it in.
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought we really pulled off these costumes. We looked great.
Oh, yeah.
We were excited. We had roadies, and we pull up to the house with the party, and it's not a theme party. And everyone is like, whoa, wow. nice outfit, guys. We're like, what? And Colleen, of course, she's just going along because I told her it's a theme party, right? So I thought it was, but we walk up, everyone's wearing just like, shorts and tank tops, because it's like July or something, shorts and tank tops, just like, and we roll out with our freaking glam squad.
I had metallic spandex
on. And I thought we nailed that costume party situation, and turns out there was no costume party situation. It was just, the party was happening, but I was like, why did it say rock and roll? You're invited to Elaine's rock and roll party. Like, what about this is rock and roll? Certainly, you should be dressing. We were. So we were the rock and the roll of that party. And
like,
I was just
the best part about it was, it's one thing if like, I felt like I just wanted to keep gravitating towards you, because I was like, I can't be just alone.
No, we can't be alone.
Anywhere.
Dressed like rock stars.
So I just was a stage 5 clinger to you, because I was like, I'm not. But I knew maybe half of the people there very well. So that was comfortable. Yes. Mm-hmm. But then there was another half that it's like, maybe I met once, or maybe I hadn't met at all. And I'm like, but everyone knew you, right?
I don't know if everyone knew. I can't remember.
But I just remember feeling like, okay, there's only one way.
Well, and it's like a 45-minute drive to my mom's house. So it wasn't like
going back.
You know what? Let's go change and come back. It was like, no, we are there. No. We're committed.
Yeah.
And that was it was an hour of getting ready for this situation.
Oh my gosh.
And I was just thinking about how fun that was.
Wow. You took me back. All right. I'm going to do my flash
So you got to
phase.
start, just like if you're randomly thinking about shit, write it in there. Because I think that's fun to like bring these fun little memories back.
I love that.
Okay.
I love this.
You do your faves.
Okay. I just found on Amazon, I added it to our like bath.
Amazon store?
and body section.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah. sipsquadpod.com/shop. But there's Epsom salt, 19-pound bulk bag.
Whoa. Mm-hmm.
Pure. It's pure Epsom salt.
Okay. 19 pounds is serious.
$28. 13,000 ratings, 5 stars because of this stuff. And then it says, highest quality, pure, unscented Epsom salts, dissolves quickly, relax muscles, and improve skin. I didn't know it was, but it can help relieve muscle aches and pains, aching feet, cleanse your pores, flush out toxins, detoxify the skin. Mix with shower gel to create your own body scrub.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Nice.
Here, I didn't know that it also worked for plants. I don't have a green thumb. I'd love to, but this is where house plants come to die. Is my house. But Epsom salt can do amazing things to help. I'm just reading the Amazon thing.
Right.
To help your garden flourish. Natural and cost-effective way to give them that extra boost to help your plants thrive. Use on plants, lawn, shrubs, and more. Anyway, a magic item. Okay, so back to the faves I originally brought. So I think it's hilarious how there's like a cross pollination of social media stuff where like, and I do this all the time where I like hang out on Twitter a lot. So it'll be like a funny tweet. So I like screenshot it. I'm like, I'm going to post this on our Instagram stories. Yeah. So like, if you see some Twitter things come in Instagram. And so I saw a TikTok cross pollination, I think on Twitter.
Oh, like, okay. Yeah.
Or somewhere.
Somewhere not on TikTok. You saw it outside of,
And it was really simple. But it's amazing how they draw you in. Yeah. It's like remarkable. And it was this woman who she, you know how our Keurigs that we have a way you can do a shot?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so she brewed a shot at home, an espresso shot.
Okay.
Over ice. And she had what looked like a brewmate shaker, cocktail shaker. But I have those, but I also have like Yetis that have a splash guard on them. Like anything that you could like shake something in works. Mm-hmm. So she filled it with ice. So I filled up one of my Yetis with ice and she poured a shot into it and then she shook it. And when you shake an espresso, you could see it become twice the size because it's getting like foamy a little bit, like bubbly. Not bubbly, but you're getting air in it. So she shook it and then she strained it over a glass of fresh ice.
Okay.
Okay, so you've created an iced espresso shot. Then she did a dash of cream on top. Mm-hmm. And then she recommended a caramel sauce, which I will recommend. It is and she did a caramel drizzle on top. And I'm like, she just made a little at-home kind of caramel macchiato situation that didn't cost $5, right. $6. So I tried this. And what I did was I did a decaf espresso shot because I have decaf pods. Uh-huh. And then I did a little bit of whole milk because I like I don't like half and half all that much.
Oh.
I don't know. I just don't. It's fine, but I'd rather have more like a latte, type taste.
I don't even think if you put milks in front of me, I'd be able to tell the difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably pretty similar outcome. And then it's Torani Pure Made Caramel, and you can buy it on Amazon.
I feel like I've heard of that.
It is syrup. Pretty close to like the Starbucks.
Wow.
Yeah. And they have a salted caramel too. I'm adding the caramel sauce to our Amazon store as well. And it was like, okay, so the Torani is a pack of 4 because it's kind of funny because you don't want the caramel flavor, you want the caramel sauce, like what they put on the top of a caramel.
Okay,
macchiato.
Right, like thicker.
But I didn't add any other like sugar or like I think the caramel macchiatos have like other flavorings and stuff in them.
Yeah.
So it doesn't taste overly sweet, which I really prefer. Mm-hmm. But I made this today coming in. And then, this ties into another fave. I talked about the Pete's coffee with the chicory, the black tie thing with the chicory flavor in it. And we got a couple messages, people saying, oh, have you tried Café du Monde coffee. No, I certainly haven't, but I will. So I immediately went on Amazon and ordered it. It is a New Orleans style coffee with chicory in it, and you can get them as pods. We bought it. We brewed it hot. And it was pretty strong. The chicory flavor was really strong, a lot stronger than the Pete's. But Chris made
have we decided that we know what chicory tastes like?
Mm,
Like, how do you know that it's, stronger?
Is it like a
chocolate,
root,
like a rooty kind of flavor? Okay.
Somewhat woody.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So he brewed it over. He did it iced, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
And it tasted a lot more like Pete's. Like the iced.
Oh.
You know how at Huber's, the hot Spanish coffees were like, whoa. And then you get them on ice and you're like, whoa, that goes down easy.
Yeah.
Kind of a similar thing with this, where the hot was like, wow, this is really, not everyone's going to like this. Mm-hmm. But iced is like, oh, everyone would like this. Super flavorful. And then we got condensed milk so that he could recreate the black tie espresso, the black tie drink at home, where he put a little condensed milk. He did the cold chicory coffee and a splash of cream. And it's not exact, but it's close. It's great for an at-home situation.
Did Café du Monde have pods, or did you buy like the big? I'm on here now.
Pods.
They did have pods.
Yep, and I added the pods to our store.
Oh, great! I got to go to our store then.
Yep. Yeah. Favorite thing I ate. This is kind of silly. And so when you're pregnant, you get your like blood tested all the time because you want to make sure that everything's like in optimal mode for creating life and sustaining life. And my last blood test came back that I was anemic, and I've never been anemic before, but apparently the signs of anemia can be like dizziness, and I've been feeling very dizzy. You chalk everything up to pregnancy.
Right. Yeah.
But kind of dizzy, kind of fatigued, racing heart every now and again, which I did feel, but I, again, chalked it up to pregnancy and thought, man, it's just third trimester, carrying around a watermelon on your stomach all the time, kind of thing. So I have an iron supplement, and that's my favorite thing I ate, is like, okay, I'm bringing that back into balance. And it's just, I think even if you're not pregnant, what I was thinking about is how important it is to just be in like tune with your body and like not be just like chalking things up to things.
Right.
Like if it's a pattern,
right.
Good to just like get yourself checked out.
Yeah.
Like stay on top of that kind of stuff, because a little shift in something can make a big difference. I just needed a little iron.
Are you feeling like it's
kicking in? It's kicking in. I don't know how long it takes to like rebalance a deficit.
Yeah.
But I was just really thankful that they're like, oh, you could be feeling a little bit better than you're feeling now.
Yeah.
And here's why.
You're like, okay, I'll take it.
Great. Yeah.
I'll take anything. Makes me feel a little
Take
better.
anything. Okay. A couple weeks ago, false alarm, I said, guys, Temptation Island's going to be out by the time you listen to this. I got tricked by the internet and by Comcast because it said a new Temptation Island was this Tuesday, but it was just a teaser. It is actually out now. And there are a couple episodes, and I've started watching.
A couple episodes?
Yes, there's like 2 or 3 by the time you guys listen to this. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, so now is this is not a drill.
And you said you did start it?
Yes, and it's going to be amazing.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Of course. Yeah. Temptation Island, I think, is one of like the best shit shows.
Yes.
On
absolutely.
television. So season 4, have at it.
All right, now my faves. All right. Let's rattle through. Favorite thing I ate. Well, actually, I just popped one of these in my mouth, and so I thought, well, maybe I should talk about these too. I don't think I have yet, but because I've been so sick. I don't like cough drops, but I found these randomly at some store. They're Hall's Minis. So, like,
ooh, they're teeny tiny.
Like a tiny little ball.
Teeny tiny.
And it's a little easy pack to take with you, I have the cherry one, but then the other day I just got the honey one. So I have them in my purse, but these are good. So I don't think I'll ever buy like the big, if I can help it, big old cough drops, because I don't like them enough. But these have just enough to take the edge off of the cough without like overpowering you. The other thing that I ate, I went to Costco, and I've seen this before, but I don't know if I've ever picked it up. but it's the quinoa salad from Costco. Have you picked it
Ooh,
up? It's in the like pre-made section, you know? And I took a picture of the label. So it's just called quinoa salad. It's ingredients: quinoa, cucumbers, tomatoes, mung beans, red bell peppers. Then it's got a dressing on there, which is canola oil, lemon juice, vinegar, salt, water, sugar, and spices. And then it has brown rice, kale, cilantro, and red lentil in this thing. And so I had that. I made that, put some hot sauce on it, and it was really just like fresh tasting. Very good. So that's the best thing I ate. The best thing that I read. So I did finish another Colleen Hoover book, because that is one thing about being up all night coughing. I just like, there was times where I would just be coughing so much I just would give up, try to sleep, and I'd move to a chair and start reading.
Yeah.
But I ended up buying a Kindle, and I resisted a Kindle for a long time because I thought I like a hardback copy. And I don't really, and I do still prefer to like turn the pages. But then I didn't know what to do with my books after I finished them. I would try to find homes for them. And I didn't like the reading light situation. If I go to bed after John or something, or like right now when I'm coughing, if I'm up, I wouldn't be able to read if I was reading an actual book, or I'd have to go to a different room. But the Kindle, it has there, you can do like a light mode or a dark mode, where it's like, the black screen, white words, or vice versa. You can adjust the brightness, but I can do it without affecting John or whoever I'm with. I like that it's so thin, and you can highlight that, like you can purchase right in the app. It downloads really quick. So actually the Kindle is really quite efficient, and you can read it outside because it doesn't have the glare on the screen like your phones do. So if you're a big reader and you're like me, preferring books, but just think maybe it'd be more convenient, I recommend it. And you can get them for like, I don't know, $70, $80 or something like that. So I've been using my Kindle, and I like that, because also the other thing that's good about it is when I start a book, and if I'm like, this book isn't tickling my fancy, with a Kindle, I can just go find another one right there, Yeah. And I belong to, on Prime, they have something called Kindle Unlimited, where I don't know what the membership cost is, but you can be a member and then there's a bunch of books on there. And in fact, one of my favorite Colleen Hoover books, her latest one that she just released, called Reminders of Him, is part of Kindle Unlimited. And there's a bunch of other ones too. So anyway, that's one I read. Oh, and then there's another thing. Okay, so I just thought this one was a cool perspective. It's a meme. I don't know, something. Okay. This guy posted it on Instagram. If you collect 100 black ants and 100 fire ants and put them in a glass jar, nothing will happen. But if you take the jar, shake it violently, and leave it on the table, the ants will start killing themselves. Red believes that black is the enemy, while black believes that red is the enemy, when the real enemy is the person who shook the jar. The same is true in society. Men versus women, black versus white, faith versus science, young versus old, etc. Before we fight each other, we must ask ourselves, who shook the jar? And I just thought it was a cool perspective.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
Okay. But the best thing that I watched was this TikTok, and I'm going to play it for Colleen and you guys. So it's this man walking up to, looks like he's in his 20s probably, walking up to this 60-some-year-old probably, and it's just adorable. Let me see if this does well over air. You cute, can I get your number? You cute, can I get your number? What are you talking about? Huh? I said, where are the cucumbers? Cucumbers? I'm sorry, I misunderstood you, but I'm part of him. So Wait. Could you hear that? He walks up to her and he goes, excuse me, you're cute, can I get your number? And she goes, huh? You cute, can I get your number? And she's, has glasses hanging out of her mouth. She's like, no, honey, what are you talking about? And he pulls his mask down and he goes, I said, where are the cucumbers? And she was like, oh, cucumbers. Sorry, I misunderstood you, but I'm hard of hearing. And I just thought I laughed. I watched that a bunch of times and I laughed every time. Product. Okay. Have I talked about the Oura Ring on here?
I think so.
So I've been loving the Oura Ring this week. It is the best wearable to, I love it all the time, but it's the best wearable to figure out your sleeping patterns and what your body is ready for. It'd actually be very interesting during pregnancy, I bet.
Yeah.
So it tracks like your temperature fluctuation, your heart rate. It can, if you wear it during the day, it can track your activity. It obviously tracks movement, so your REM, deep sleep, light sleep, awake, time in bed, and whatever. And so because I've been sick and sleeping, this is how I know that I'm not doing well, because it'll give you a score. It'll give you like a readiness score and a sleep score. And the last several nights have been very low. I usually like to be in like the high 80s. I'm not always in the 90s, but if you're very good with your body, you probably could get to the 90s. But I've been in the 50s, which is really problematic. It's like your body is going through a lot. Like, you need to chill. You should not be doing anything. And in the line of work that I am in, I feel a lot of people make decisions that are not actually right. Like, I'm working with a lot of health and fitness people who don't actually prioritize health. They just prioritize fitness. And I think it's, and I know I've talked about this on here, but like, if you do not sleep well, and then you go put your body, you're like, oh, well, I got to work out because I told myself I would, or it's part of the calendar, I don't want to get behind, or whatever. It's really a terrible thing to do to your body. And it sends like, then it'll be pumping cortisol in, and you'll have trouble sleeping. That's how you stress your adrenals. That's how you start getting adrenal fatigue and brain fog. And like, you can do some serious damage like that. So if I didn't have the Oura Ring, maybe on Friday, I might have been like, well, I'll get a workout in, because I felt okay. It was only one night of bad sleep, but I go by my ring and it's like, you are not recovered. And so I just listen to that, because I want to do like what is the best for my body, and I can't always tell. So I think it's a really important, impactful
North Star.
Yeah. And it's so easy. It's a ring that you can take on or off. The other thing I found is this little gun. It's a little stitch thing it's called the micro stitch. You can get it on Amazon, and I ordered it. So yeah, micro stitch clothing gun. And it has these tiny little tags on them. I ordered this one they have cheaper ones, but I ordered this one that said it's called micro stitch tagging gun kit, Amazon's choice, whatever. But I saw it on TikTok because, you know how sometimes you wear shirts and then they're like, it's busting at the boobs, or something will be like low cut and you're like, I just want to safety pin this or whatever. Right. Like, and then this on Friday, I wore a maxi dress that had pockets, but the pockets made it look like really wide. And so underneath the dress, I put my hands in the pockets and held them together, and I was like, oh, I like the way that looks better. So I took this micro stitch and I put a little stitch in between the pockets so that they were like stitched together, in front of me under my dress, so that it did that. But you can it's a quick little, and it, makes the boob pop go away. Or if you have something that's low cut, you can just put, and it's like
nice.
Kind of like one of those little clothing, like the clothing tag that you would see at a store, with the tag on it, but tiny, tiny, tiny. It's only like a couple millimeters. Quick. They got, white and black little ones, so you can't really see them. Or I think it would be cool if you like had a bra that you wanted to attach to, your shirt or something like that. You could do a quick micro stitch versus the invisible tape. Anyway, cool. I used it for the first time, had it for a little bit, and I finally had a reason to use it, and it was so easy to do, and I really liked it. And it was like then easy to like take apart too. So
cool.
Highly recommend that.
That's a fun little hack.
It is. Okay, and then lastly, sipped. So we talked last week about how you were drinking that non-alcoholic wine, and I said my cousin had one. I got to find out what it was. Yeah. So I asked her, and I ended up buying some this weekend, so I'll try other flavors. But it's Shirley, and I mean Shirley as it's sounds, Surely. Shirley non-alcoholic wine. So she had the sparkling rosé. So that's the one that I've tried. And on the front end, it did taste a little grape juicy kind of, Yeah. But the back end definitely had like a wine kind of vibe to it. Ooh. And she said she tried a couple other ones. So I ordered those, and that is the one. So if you're looking for a non-alcoholic wine that's pretty good, I feel like check out Shirley. Then
there are a lot of non-alcoholic wines on Amazon.
Oh.
Like I just put in Shirley.
Yeah. But they're not all created equal is the problem.
No, not nearly. But I just am surprised. Like there's so many.
Yeah.
And there's this one thing that's rated really high. It's only $11, but it's probably meant to mix with something, but it just seems like kind of like a nice.
Oh.
It's a Fruit Farms elderflower and rosé lemonade.
Oh, yum.
But anyway, Keep going.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's rated really high.
Well, you should check it out.
I should. Yeah.
Get it.
Okay.
And then a friend of mine sent me a can because she knows that I was going to not drink while I'm doing this gut protocol thing. And she was like, hey, if you need something, to take the edge off while you're not drinking, my husband just brought me these. And they're called Hiyo, Hiyo, non-alcoholic seltzers. And they have nootropics in them. She works like a really high-powered job. She has to be like use her brain a lot. And she was like, I was, kind of tapped out and fuzzy. And she's like, and I had one of these and I feel like fresh again. Like I feel sharp. So I just went and bought, I haven't tried them yet, but I went and bought a variety pack. And there's I think it's like 25 calories, but they're supposed to do, nootropics are like natural brain boosting kind of things. I don't know what they're actually called, but yeah, Hiyo, their tagline is feel the float. It's a mood boosting, stress relieving, social tonic, mindfully crafted with organic adaptogens, natural nootropics, and functional botanicals to be a better than alcohol alternative. So she said she really liked it. I trust her. So I bought a pack. I'll report back. But if you're interested, it is 25 calories per can. There is 5 grams of sugar. They have peach mango, watermelon lime, and blackberry lemon. So I'll let you know more. But if you want, so it has our functionals. It has ashwagandha, which helps relieve stress, lion's mane, which promotes clarity. L-theanine improves focus, cordyceps boosts energy, ginger aids in digestion, and turmeric fights inflammation. So it has all of those things in there. So anyway.
I love it.
I can't wait to sip on that, but I haven't yet. But, still brought it. All right, should we land the bird?
Let's land the bird, man.
Rave?
So we're going to land the bird, and then you're going to land your body.
Oh my God,
onto a soft pillow somewhere in the house and get a reprieve. Do you have a rant? I
do. Oops. I do have a rant. Right now, it could be my whole life is my rant, but I have some other ones. When someone gave me this one, I think it was my cousin. When you go to, toilet rants are just endless. I don't think we've talked about this one yet. But when the toilet liner, you take it out and you put it on the seat, and then you go to sit down, but the toilet liner falls in before you can get your ass on the seat.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh God, here we go again. And then you have to be real careful and slow so that you're not, and it's like, you're just getting a little too close to the toilet. The other thing about toilet liners that I hate is it looks like the coast is clear. So you lay a toilet liner down, you sit on it, and then you realize the coast was not clear. There was wetness on the seat or something because now this liner is stuck to the seat and to you. And as you stand up, you're taking with it chunks of the toilet liner and toilet seat liner. And it's just disgusting.
Or when you do see that it's starting to soak up something and it's do you then wipe it off and push it and then get a new one? Or
sometimes I'll double layer and I'm but then I get worried. I'm like, how many layers can I put on here where my pee is not going to penetrate and then it's going to fall, it's going to go out by my feet instead of down into the toilet.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever had to do the toilet liner wipe? No toilet paper?
Oh yeah. Because there's no paper, no toilet paper.
Yeah.
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 But that does not, I don't know. I feel like there's no absorbency really to that.
There's none.
So it's just really mentally this is better.
Or the toilet liner with toilet paper because there's no toilet liners. And so then you're trying to build the bridge. But then the bridge will fall in every time.
Yes.
The bridge will
and
collapse.
Also you have to get very, I feel like I'm spending too much time with the face to face with the toilet bowl when I'm having to carefully lay the toilet paper down.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all absolutely a nightmare.
It's a nightmare.
What's your rant?
My rant's actually kind of serious.
Oh shit.
No. It is. And I debated whether I bring it here or not because we try, I think, and you had that beautiful meme about think about who's shaking the glass. And I was like, well, maybe it's me or something right now. But this one is close to me and I'm bringing it here because I don't know how else things will change and I know that I'm not trying to change people's minds. I'm not even trying to be political. But have you seen these abortion bills that have been introduced? There's been one in Texas.
Was 6 weeks or something?
Yeah.
Is there another one?
Yeah, so the Texas one like effectively bans abortion procedures like after 6 weeks, and then there's like been a couple of other states that have introduced bills for consideration. One in Oklahoma, one in Missouri, and it's this, and I'm not abortion. That is like very much a hot political topic, and I do respect pro-life arguments, and that's not even what this rant is about. This rant is really specific about a part of the Missouri bill that was introduced that would make the procedures. Sorry, I read this bill in the bathtub like a couple days ago and just started bawling because it would make the procedure to have if you had an ectopic pregnancy and you had to have the procedure, it would make that a federal crime. It would make it a Class A felony, which would be 10 years of life in prison. And I guess want to educate, if you're new to this podcast and you haven't listened to the ectopic pregnancy episode, I didn't want to really make that episode. I did and I didn't. And I'm really glad today that I did. I'm really glad that I shared, because I never would have thought ever in a million years that something like that would ever be up for debate. Mm-hmm. So some facts about, and I think about all the people who've written in after I shared that episode. We still get messages like regularly with people who are like, oh my gosh, I just went through an ectopic pregnancy, and I'm so like, they find the pod through that, because they're trying to cope, they're trying to deal, and they are maybe listening for podcasts about ectopic, and they stumble upon ours. And this is not uncommon. They're not common, but they're not uncommon. Ectopic pregnancies happen. And with my experience, my ectopic pregnancy, I did not know it was an ectopic pregnancy. And I did not know I was pregnant until after 6 weeks. And I did not know it was an ectopic pregnancy until 8 weeks. And I encourage you to go back and listen to this episode. If you just want to hear another perspective, another actual life experience about something that has happened to me personally. But this is just, for those of you who are like, how could you not know, you were pregnant until 8 weeks? Well, I'll tell you exactly why. When the baby embedded itself into my fallopian tube, it created what I thought was a period at 4 weeks. It was exactly on schedule to what my period would have been. So that is why I did not know that I was pregnant. And there's a number.
But there's also other people too that are just like, you just don't know. I don't think
I didn't know with Ben until I was 7 weeks.
Yeah, I think that's crazy to think that people should that anyone would even ask that,
But it is. This is the thing. No, and there's all these bills that are like, and this is
insane.
It's crazy that we have to, because I don't think there's enough women with a voice at the table. And I don't know this guy who introduced this bill in Missouri is named Brian. I don't know, I'd love to go to lunch with Brian and just share with him about my life, about this. I did know with the ectopic that there was no possibility that the baby and I could coexist. There is no world where the mother survives and the baby can also survive with an ectopic. There is zero possibility that the ectopic fetus can live in the fallopian tube. It cannot be reimplanted into the uterus. It will not survive. So if the baby stays there, what happened to me is my tube ruptured and the mom will die. So the choices of a bill like this, should it get passed, and these kind of bills just cannot get passed, is either the mom dies or there's what it would be considered, it seems like, an illegal procedure that would then warrant a federal crime. And that is just, this is wild to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just, I urge people who are on the pro-life side, and again, I respect you, you know, but I urge you to think about my life, the lives of mothers, and we have to lift our voices because this is getting like, this shit's getting scary.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not okay. I just never thought, like, in a million years this would, like, even be a conversation that would have to be had, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't tell you how much I wish it would have been a different outcome. If you hear that episode, you know, having to say that I was having my baby being cut out from me so that I could live is not something I ever would have in a million years, like, wanted to have to utter or experience. And so, I just want to create awareness, I guess, around specifically ectopic pregnancies and encouragement for women who've experienced them. I know you probably don't want to talk about it because it's extremely traumatic, but it's a really important time to just share your stories if you can or if you want to, because I think the more people who hear these stories, the more we can lift the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
because it will be had, and the question is whether our voices are heard or not. So that's my rant.
Yeah. I didn't even know about this bill, but it's pretty unbelievable.
Ooh, okay. Let's land the bird. Bring it home with a rave, man.
Oh, my rave?
Yeah, rave to me. I don't even know what it's about, but when you laugh, I laugh.
My rave is when you're trying to exit a parking lot and there's rows of traffic and then someone slows down and lets you in. That's my rave this week.
Wait,
but you know again? So I like dropped Revy off at school, okay? I take her to school and then I drop off and it's like during morning, whatever, rush hour. So I'm in the parking lot and I'm trying to like turn right onto the street, right? And it's just like lines of cars and all of a sudden I see this truck slowing down and he waves me and I think, thank you, because lots of cars just kept passing, right? 30 cars go by before they let me in. And I just thought, you know what? I like that guy. But it just feels like absolutely ridiculous to have that be my rave after what you just said.
Okay,
but like,
also, without me saying what I said, it would still be ridiculous.
You don't think it's nice when people let you in traffic?
It's nice, but I don't think I would ever. It's nice. It's nice.
I think it's nice. And also, you also thought it was ridiculous when I said when I wash my face. That was my rave. When I wash my face before bed, like before I watch TV, and then I get to go back to bed, and you're like, ha ha ha. But I stand by that, and people were like, I totally agree with you, Ashley. I think it is a gift to yourself.
I don't say it was ridiculous. Did I say it was ridiculous?
Yeah, or something like that. I don't know. You laughed, which is totally fine. But I stand by this being a rave. But not on the heels of what you just brought, because what you just brought is much more important than.
No, my rave's also light, or
okay.
It is what it is. So we're moving we're doing a room shuffling around, and I'm upgrading my office situation. And I've realized I do really enjoy, like, I'm not a designer by any stretch, like, no way. I do not know what I'm doing, but I do enjoy putting together a room now.
Yeah.
And I'm having a lot of fun.
And I also don't think that's true. You did a great job on your cabin. You might have had input or help, but like that looks amazing.
Well, I worked with Chris's mom.
Yes.
She really is quite
She's got an eye.
Talented. Yeah. And she was our lead decorator for the cabin. But for my office, I'm doing like a navy blue accent wall, and I'm doing like a gold fixture. And anyway, it's going to be great. And I can't wait.
Yes.
I'll show you guys on Instagram when I'm done.
Do you have like, do you have like a mood board that you put together, or you just
no
have this
mood board?
vision in your
I just
head?
have like an album in my phone.
Yeah.
That I'm like,
it's going to be amazing.
All right. You're going to go sleep. I'm going to go blow my nose because it's like actually dripping down my face.
Okay.
So.
Rate, subscribe, review. Visit us on Patreon.
Yep.
patreon.com/you can sit with us. You can sit with us always.
And we will see you next Tuesday. Bye.